This is really your only option for an arena. It's a big 2,000 to 4,000 block long platform. I don't remember how long the one you see in the video here is. But the reason why it's different for the King Slime fight is because for the Eye of Cthulhu fight, turning around is kind of a pain. It's a lot easier for King Slime. So you can make the stair-shaped extensions at the end of the platform, but I recommend just making a long platform. For melee, for my weapon I used the Thorn Chakram. For my armor I used the Ninja Armor, and for my accessories I used the Hermes Boots and the Cloud in a Bottle. I also used some other accessories that increase your movement speed, but they aren't necessary for this fight. For buffs I used the Well-Fed buff. For Ranger, for my weapon I used the Mini Shark. For my armor I used the Ninja Armor, and for my accessories I used the Hermes Boots and the Cloud in a Bottle. I also used some other accessories that increase your movement speed, but those aren't necessary for this fight. Alternatively, if you don't want to spend 33 gold on a Mini Shark, you could use the Boomstick from the jungle because they both have around the same DPS. For my ammo, I used musket balls. For buffs, I used the Well-Fed buff. You could also use the essentials, Regeneration, Iron Skin, and Swiftness, but you don't need to if you don't want to. For mage, for my weapon, I used the Emerald Staff, although you could use any one of the gem staves at that tier or better. For my armor, I used the Jungle Armor, and for my accessories, I used the Hermes Boots and the Cloud in a Bottle. And I also used some other accessories that increase your movement speed, but I only used them because I got them. For my buffs, I used the Well-Fed buff and a Mana Regeneration Potion, but the Mana Regeneration Potion and the Magic Power Potion aren't necessary. And finally, for Summoner, for my summon, I used the Finch Staff. For my weapon, I used the Snapthorn, and for my armor, I used the Ninja Armor with the Flinx Fur Coat. For accessories, I used the Hermes Boots and the Cloud in a Bottle with the same movement speed accessories. And for my buffs, I used the essentials, Iron Skin, Regeneration, and Swiftness. But these aren't really needed if you aren't having much trouble with the fight, so you could do this unbuffed as Summoner. When it comes to the summon, you don't need to use the Finch Staff. I simply used it because I had it, but it's easier to get the Abigail's Flower most of the time. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's get on to the fight. When you summon the Eye of Cthulhu, it'll fly up and do 3 slow dashes towards the player. Then it will float above the player while spawning Servants of Cthulhu and do 1 final dash towards the player. If you're simply walking in one direction, you can dodge this pretty easily. This continues until the eye has just over 1/2 health. When it reaches this point, it will spin, losing its iris. This transforms it into the second phase. It'll again do 3 slow dashes towards the player, but the dashes are a little bit faster and cover a bit more distance. When it transforms, it will spawn more Servants of Cthulhu, but in its second phase, it doesn't spawn Servants of Cthulhu at all. This is the way it continues for the rest of the fight on Classic until it's defeated, but on Expert difficulty and up, it's a bit different. For Expert and Master, as its health gets lower, it'll start doing faster dashes with more high-pitched roars every time it dashes. As long as you're running in one direction, you can dodge these fairly easily. If you find that you have to turn around, you can just tank the damage. At the end of the fight, when the Eye of Cthulhu is very low on health, it'll start dashing faster than you can run with the Hermes Boots, and at this point it becomes a DPS race to kill it before it kills you. On Legendary difficulty, there's a new attack added where it'll spin around and summon a horde of Servants of Cthulhu. So in this difficulty, this eye does spawn Servants of Cthulhu in a second phase. Also in Legendary difficulty, when transforming into the second phase and when doing this new spin attack, it deflects projectiles. That's basically all I have to say about this fight. Thanks for watching.